Okay, high achievers and sensitive souls, this one is for you. Let's get into burnout cycles, why you keep getting stuck in them, and what to do about it. So, you may or may not have seen this before, but this is called the optimum window of activation, arousal, attention. This is like ideal productivity, where you have enough healthy stress to kind of activate, pay attention, do the things that you need to do. This is the ideal. Most people aren't in this optimal zone for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it's trauma, sometimes it's neurodivergence, and sometimes it's just pushing yourself too damn hard for too damn long, and you get into this kind of like exhausted push through energy. So in an optimal state, your kind of attention, arousal, activation kind of ebbs and flows naturally through the day, but if your nervous system is healthy and relaxed, you do kind of hang out here. However, I know a lot of highly anxious folks who kind of funnel all of their anxious energy, their high achievement energy, into productivity. And so they'll be hyper productive, but they're also kind of anxious at the same time, and they're up here. Now, for some of my folks, especially if they're ADHD or have any other neurodivergence, sometimes they're also kind of up here being way too productive, up here in euphoria. So even some of my creative folks will stay up here for too long, right? So they're a little bit overactivated, they're overstressed, their cortisol is pumping at this point. And I know folks who have somehow hung out up at this level for years, for some people even decades. I don't know how they did it, but essentially they were robbing from their future energy stores, and eventually everything that goes up must come down, and they find themselves down here. So this is too tired, low mood, and they might say, I'm not even a particularly depressed person, but I can't get out of bed, or I'm having these health concerns, I don't understand what's going on. The whole thing is that your adrenals have been pumping too hard, your brain, your body has been doing way too much than what your body's intended to do. And so you get stuck in these crash zones. And I know some people who they kind of actually more rapidly cycle. It can even look like bipolar when it's not. They're just working themselves too hard. But they'll be in this push through energy up here, and then they'll like come down here for a few weeks or a few days and then come back up. And they're just like all over the place. And they're feeling moody. They're feeling unfocused. They feel like they're constantly putting out fires or always in crisis mode for no reason. And it's exhausting, frankly. And they just feel like they're not living their very best life, to be honest, and they feel like they're not in their optimum productivity zone, even if they're getting a lot of things done, even if they're more or less good at their jobs or good in their relationships, they still feel exhausted, depleted all the time. So what I like to help my clients do is find ways to drop out of this zone, right? Because we want to balance your nervous system. We want to know what's driving your nervous system. A lot of times it's some of your thinking patterns, some of your beliefs about your productivity equaling your worth, about needing to prove things to other people, about comparison, having to keep up. There's all sorts of these like pressured thoughts that create this level of stress that people actually even stress themselves out with their own thinking to purposely get up here because they think they'll be more productive up there. But again, usually you're working harder, not smarter up at this level, and you think you're doing a lot of good things, but honestly, you could be just as productive, if not more, in this zone. And so this is the whole concept of creating like a strategic, easeful life where you are prioritizing where you're putting your energy, you're optimizing your impact, but you're also finding times to rest. You're just feeling good and balanced. That's the goal, right? And sometimes when I talk to people, they're down here, and sometimes they actually have to stay down here for a hot second. Like they need to rest, they need to heal. So if you're also at that place right now in burnout, just know that you're not gonna stay there forever. I can also help you get out of this zone as well to get into this optimum functioning zone. So if this is anything that you resonate with, or if you know anyone who totally maps onto this pattern, please recommend they come check out Align. This is a program that's starting in January 9th. We'll meet for 4 weeks, and I will teach you everything I know about optimizing your energy, about just creating a really balanced, focused, impactful life. I also work with people one-on-one, so if you're not able to make those live classes throughout January, then I can also meet with people individually. But it's really important that you quit robbing your future self from health, from happiness, from productivity, from all of this burnout and all this stress. It's about time you learn to optimize all of this to push yourself further. Long term, you owe it to yourself.